It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely.
Locally, will Tennessee soon force a statewide face mask mandate?
Let's hope not.
And if the governor does so, do you have to comply? Plus, can you get arrested in the volunteer state for stolen valor and impersonating a veteran? And in Clarksville, who the F stole the entire old McClure Bridge? Will they bring it back? Yeah, the local news you need to know is now on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave your comments. Definitely share this video now, all right? Okay. Man, this is some scary stuff going on in Tennessee. Tennessee Democrats call on governor to take action amid unacceptable death and suffering, quote unquote. Yeah, so the Tennessee Senate has issued a letter to Governor Bill Lee to create an immediate plan of action, calling the current rates of COVID-19 spread and deaths to the state unacceptable. The letter, signed by 6 Senate Democrats, 6? That's it. States that they are ready and stand alongside the governor in an aggressive evidence-based mitigation strategy instead of criticizing the absence of a plan. So Governor Lee has avoided action such as the statewide face mask mandate due to his belief mandates are not as effective as buy-in and allowing counties to make decisions based on their own realties, which, by the way, delegation. We'll get into my opinion in just a minute. All right, so.
More like he doesn't want the responsibility for it, so he's going to pawn it off county by county.
Or negative Nancy over there, or it's not his role to overreach his executive power.
Exactly right.
That is true.
Exactly
I mean,
right.
you're seeing that in other states,
Okay.
reaching over, you know?
He's not King Kong. You know what the word president in Latin means? To preside over.
Yeah.
Okay? It doesn't mean to run. It means to preside over. Do you know what the word governor means in Latin? It means to... All right, I don't know, so we're going to move
It
forward.
means it's to govern.
Alexa.
To take control, to
Yes, right.
to monitor,
Right.
basically.
I
To
get-
govern something is to monitor it.
Right. I agree with you on that. Yeah, so you got to understand.
Well,
you know
that's
what?
a first.
These ones bring in these. You got to do this. You got to force this. Like look what's happening in Nashville with Comrade Cooper. That is more of a power hungry type of position, whereas the governor currently, Bill Lee, is saying, "No, yeah, you guys run your areas. Yep. They got elected for a reason."
Mm-hmm.
Some of them may not get reelected. Who knows? But if they do, if Tennessee, like so many other states out there, have a face mask mandate, do we have to comply and apply to it? Check this out. So Wyoming. So they're the 38th state to issue a mask mandate in the state. One of their sheriffs, he said, "Sorry, I can't do it." So the order requires masks in all indoor public spaces, as well as public transportation, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We all know where you got to wear a mask if you comply. But the sheriff, he said that let me, word for word. This is on Tuesday. The county attorney and the sheriff said that the current order does not allow deputies a mean to separate those who are exempt from mask requirement and those who are willfully violating it. He says that it's a violation of your rights if any law enforcement asks you if you are unhealthy or prescribed by a doctor to not wear a mask.
That makes sense. It's similar to what we discussed before with service animals. You can't, I mean, it's ADA as well. I mean, you can ask somebody why they have the service dog, but you can't say, well, what specifically is wrong with you?
In order to successfully prosecute a mask mandate case, the prosecutors would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the person not wearing a face covering does not suffer from a mental or physical condition preventing them from doing so. Law. So, hey, you can't get asked if you have a health condition. One, you got HIPAA laws protecting you. That's none of your business.
And ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act.
Absolutely, right.
See, I wish Lawyer Wayne was here actually. And I mean, I think, well, I'm guessing what the difference is like, for example, when I go to a doctor's office, they physically won't see you unless you're wearing a mask. But
Now
I'm
you
guessing
have a
that's
discrimination
because it's a
law, though.
private business that they can.
It's true, but then you have.
enforce it.
But here's the lawsuits going on with Walmart's. These lawsuits too are kind of under the table deal. You don't hear much about them. All right, where now they're getting discrimination lawsuits. Sorry, you can't shop here. Why not? Because you have a health disability. Oh, tell me a lawyer that wouldn't take that one.
If you think about it, especially now that, masks are the new fashion and everyone's got these prints. I mean, I was thinking, isn't wearing a mask almost like wearing an article of clothing? Therefore, by telling someone you have to wear a mask, wouldn't that be similar in a way to walking up and saying to a woman, you have to wear a bra, or you have to wear underwear, or you have to wear... I mean, I think that it goes much deeper than that, obviously, but it was just a random thought. And
it goes into what we were talking about earlier. It's an overreach of executive power.
Yeah.
These are not being passed by legislation. You know how we were talking earlier about
I feel like
laws being changed? None of this is being voted on by your elected officials.
Nope.
And hey, if you want, have that vote. Do it. Go on record, public record. Let me know how you vote, City Council.
I feel like we've talked about this before between a mandate and a law.
Right.
I feel like we've had this discussion on this show. A mandate is just a, suggestion or a requirement. A law is a law.
Yep.
So...
But here's the thing, too. We're very fortunate here. Because Water Dog Ritz, do you know how many citations have been given so far in Montgomery County about masks?
I want to say 0.
It is 0.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that, number one, any private business has the right to refuse service to anyone as long as the refusal of that service is not based on equal opportunity.
Race, creed, religion,
So,
right?
So
Or
if I
disability.
deem...
Right.
if-
Or disability. Disability Act, right?
If my county and city mayor deemed that for the protection of our city and county, that everyone should wear a mask, which has been shown to show a reduction in the transmission of COVID. If they choose to say that, while it may not be enforced by law, I as a private business owner, I have the right to say to someone who refuses to wear that mask, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Yeah, you do.
So that's a flip of the coin somewhat, but I refuse to what I should do. Their recommendation is wear the mask. If they say wear the mask, I'm going to support the governor, the mayors, until I feel they're doing something wrong. And, I have that right.
But you said
I'm not saying I
would
would do that,
right
but I'm
there.
saying,
You just right at the end.
It's
I
my
have
choice.
that,
I have that
right.
Right.
And I think that's what it boils down to. Because I'll say it right here on the air in front of however many people are listening. I have severe anxiety. I have claustrophobia. Wearing a mask for me and I'm not being dramatic, it is problematic. I can't breathe. My heart starts to race. There is a physical, so I have an actual physical reaction to having to wear that face covering. When I have to wear it to go to that doctor's appointment, I'm panicking inside.
The amount of veterans I've talked to with PTSD,
Yeah.
okay, that I've talked to
a
about the face
similar
mask. So they say that it ticks them. You know what I mean?
It's
It triggers.
exactly.
It triggers the reaction of PTSD.
And then see, I also, and again, I'm not ashamed of my diagnoses, but yes, I also have PTSD. So I mean, I can't exactly tell you which one of them is the one that causes that reaction in me. All I can tell you is that it is physically. It physically harms me in a way that it's not just, oh my gosh, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like this. It's
but
it's
then
not
again,
about that.
that's why this whole executive overreach is no good, and it's in violation of law, constitutional law.
If that doctor, or in this case a doctor, if that private business owner says, well, I'm sorry, you have to wear the mask, how you execute your rights is by going to a
Damn right. His
Competitor.
biggest competitor.
Yeah.
If you don't like their policy,
Absolutely.
then don't patronize
Right.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But don't expect your rights to oversee or supersede their rights.
I somewhat disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
Water Dog Rich. I go into a grocery store. They have the signs up, right?
Right.
I'm going in. Okay? Unmasked Avenger. Okay? The whole bit. Right.
Yeah.
I'm like the anti-Zorro. Right. I'm in there. Boom. Walk in, walk out. Boom. I did my business. No doubt about it. One day, if they decide to go, halt. Okay? I'm not going to stop. They have no right to detain me. I have not been a suspicion of shoplifting. Mm-hmm. I am not in suspicion of any type of violation.
You haven't disturbed the peace.
No trespassing. Yeah.
And if you show me that sign is law on your door, then we can have a conversation.
But they don't have to sell you anything.
They don't. Thank God for self-checkout.
But if they stop you, that's within their rights.
No,
if they
but-
stop you and
I
say,
have my rights not to stop. Now, if the cops get called,
Yeah.
and
Then
I'm
you're
in-
trespassing.
and no, you have to have commit a crime to be officially trespass.
no, if that's
Yes.
personal or
No,
private
that
property.
is law.
Come on.
On a business
level.
okay?
Yeah.
On a business, okay? I had some great conversation with lawyers. On a business, okay?
Come on.
Like take Water Dog Scuba and Safety, right there in Spring
Right.
Street. Great location. We're going to talk about them in just a moment, okay? But if I'm over on your property, all right, and I'm hanging out, I'm not doing anything wrong, right? I'm just talking to you. You ask me to
Now,
leave.
this has happened, so I'm going to
I
come.
bet. I bet.
This has happened.
If you ask me to leave, I'm leaving.
Right.
Right. Okay? Same thing in those other stores.
Now, if you
they ask me to
don't-
leave, I'm leaving.
I think what Rich may be saying, not to put words in your mouth, though, is what Rich is saying is that if you're at Walmart and they say to you, "We would like for you to leave, Mr. Padula,"
Right.
and you don't,
Right.
Now at that juncture,
Why?
you,
Yeah,
You are
exactly.
trespassing
No,
at
no, no.
that point.
Why do you want me to leave?
It does not matter. And
Yes,
this
yes,
is-
it kind of does.
This has
because
happened.
Well,
if you don't like me because of my religion, but it goes again.
Yeah,
it
of
goes into
course,
the laws,
within
right?
I
that-
think it's
within
a
that reason.
it's a very gray area because, like, for
It
example,
is a gray
It is,
area.
so gray because
Yeah.
you walk into, let's say, you walk into a bar and it says right there, "We reserve the right to refuse service
Yeah.
to
That's
anyone."
right. That's right.
If you,
Right.
So I will give you an example.
Kelly Big
Bad, I don't
Burger's
wanna
got
interrupt.
that.
Kelly Big Burgers, yes,
On Riverside,
that's right.
when
They
you
do
walk
have that.
in.
Yeah.
Most
That's
yeah,
right.
most
right.
establishments
Does
do,
have it,
you know.
So I have had people come on. Unfortunately, they came on the business with nothing but loitering. They had nothing in there.
Uh-huh.
They came. I said, "Sir, you're going to have to leave."
Right.
Okay. Call the police. The police show up. I say,
What was the reason for him not leaving, if you don't mind? Did he
Well,
give a reason?
there was a little bit more to it. There's a longer story to it. But
Petulance.
he had been.
Did he
I
have a
won't
chip
say
on his shoulder?
stalking. He did have a chip on his shoulder.
Uh-huh.
I won't say stalking, but he had made
Oh.
some of my staff members very uncomfortable.
How
He
you
really hadn't
doing?
done anything because he was there a lot.
Those girls look hot in those scuba outfits. That's why.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't.
so it was
no,
you,
it
Joe.
was
That
not
was
a-
the guy that
Yeah.
they were talking about.
This
That
is
was
why I
there.
have
That's
such a
why you
problem with
haven't
Rich.
gone there in a
Right.
while.
Joe, I told you. No, so the
Rich, I
police,
have rights.
the police show up. I said, "Hey, this gentleman won't leave my property. Is he trespassing? Yes, sir, he's trespassing. Sir, you have to leave or we're going to jail because you're trespassing.
Okay.
That's my property."
Now, here's the thing. Now, it goes by state, too. Different states have different laws when it comes to trespassing. All right? Now, for trespassing, and I got to double check. I'll check with Lawyer Wayne. It does have to be if a suspicion of a crime was created. Now, with your private business, different story. Different story. But I'm talking about public access places.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
I
yeah.
just think that if they were going to really crack down on this whole mask thing, there would be an awful lot that would need to be reiterated with regard to these gray areas. Otherwise, it's just going to be even more of a mess than it is now. So it wouldn't just be a question of you have to wear it. I think we would have to rework all of this. I mean, what's the definition of trespassing? What's the definition of a private business? What's,
Well, those
yeah, it's-
those definitions already set in place. We just have to read more of our state constitution, our laws.
Well, and we'd also have to look at it how it applies to a specific scenario, and that's why I believe that it's first of all, I don't think it's ever going to happen, as far as it being made.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that
mandatory.
happened this year. I thought it would never happen.
Yeah.
So close, a couple more.
But
weeks,
I'll tell you what,
2021.
here's something hopeful. Tennessee bill would ban the governor and agencies from restricting home and church gathering limits.
Yeah.
Okay? Check this out. So a Tennessee lawmaker is sponsoring a bill which would prohibit government agencies or officials from mandating or limiting the number of people getting together inside a home or churches. Once again, your constitutional right, your First Amendment, freedom to assemble peacefully. It doesn't say how many numbers is on that. It doesn't say not during a pandemic. People forget you have constitutional rights that so many people have fought and even died for. So stop forgetting you got these rights. Man, what did the guy say the other day? If they fear you, they won't with you.
Yeah.
Right. Acknowledge, my friends.
But don't tell me what I can't do at my house.
Yeah.
Bet you can't have more than 8 people at your house.
I know people that got more kids than that.
Yeah, Lawyer Wayne.
Lawyer Wayne lives
Sorry.
in violation.
Sorry.
Hey,
He's
gonna
there
have to get
now
an
violating.
and that's ridiculous. The Lawyer Wayne's got 9 kids, like legit, and they all came out of Quinn.
And that's
okay,
not
that's his
including
wife.
him and his wife.
Right, and his mother-in-law lives there. God bless him. But I'm telling you, that's unconstitutional. And this bill right here, I can't believe it even has to be a bill. But if it has to be a bill that goes, if it goes from the state representatives to the state senators to get voted on, sent to the governor for him to sign, then so be it. So you guys got people like Comrade Cooper, Mayor Cooper in Nashville saying, sorry, Thanksgiving, only 8 people. Those girls, those 3 girls that got arrested, literally arrested for throwing a party for Halloween. Sure, it was a lot of people. You're damn right. They got a freaking right.
It's their choice and the people who sold up choice to be there.
Rich, here's the thing. You know what I mean? We swore an oath to that Constitution. Remember your day? I remember my day. It was in Brooklyn, at the Meps over there in Brooklyn. It was unbelievable. I was freaking like, wow, I feel like I'm part of something. I'm raising my right hand to protect and serve this. And holy, people don't even know what's even in that book. They don't even know. So that's why they go, you know what, you're right, 8 people only in my house. Screw you. Screw you, because, I don't know, we worked hard to defend it. Same thing with the cops. And we had this conversation last week, too, Adam.
We did, yeah.
And I love the cops and everything, but you took that same oath.
It's the same oath, yeah.
Same oath.
Well, what's amazing to me is that it's just, and we don't know this because we don't live there, that it's just accepted. If our local government said that, I mean, honestly, I would pay no heed to that whatsoever. When it came to in my private home, it just would not be like, okay, you said that, great, thanks for saying those words. It wouldn't matter to me. You know, maybe that's wrong, but I just can't put myself in that mindset of living there. And actually, well, the mayor said we can only have 8 people, so it's just beyond me.
I go with Joe on this too. Is like you get these governors that put these mandates and these rules in, and are like hypocrites because they break their own rules
all the time.
It's all the time. I mean, I'm sick of looking back in my home state of Illinois and seeing people being shut in their homes, losing businesses because their governor and their mayor is saying this. But then you see on the you read, oh, Governor so and so in Illinois is now flying to this island.
Right.
It's like, come on.
There is in San Jose, California, okay, a church that held a service, and now they have to pay a $55,000 violation fine. Okay? And hold on to this. Look at this. This is for having an indoor church service inside their church. Okay? And this latest fine is on top of more than $700,000 in fines already imposed on that church for saying, no, we have the right to assemble peacefully. So look at that, $755,000 for this one church who has a right, constitutional right. And I'm saying, and people go, oh, that's California. It's coming. It's coming. You keep giving. You keep giving away your rights. It's coming. All right. I got to take a leak. Let's move forward.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
You got to come. I mean, a lot of that enforcement starts. Who's willing to enforce it? And I just don't see, thankfully, here in Tennessee, that we're willing to enforce foolishness like that.
Then why play the game? Why even write the executive order if you know You know, hey, this ain't going to be enforced.
To pacify the people who are crying about
I
it.
hear you, but that just creates more drama.
That
Oh,
what
it
they-
does, but
that-
there's
Do
going
you
to
know
be
what I mean?
drama
How
regardless.
dare you not wear your mask in here?
That what they want.
Right.
People-
I didn't say I
people like
agreed
drama.
with it. I said that's what I
Right,
think
right.
it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just ironic. It's like you go inside a restaurant, be like, you have to wear your mask. Sit down. Oh, I can take it off to eat. Like, what? What's going on? Okay.
My favorite was the video of the guy and the girl going into the
Yeah.
restaurant. The girl had her mask on. The guy didn't have a mask on. They stopped the guy from going in. He goes, "Baby, come here." And she pulls down her panties. He puts her panties on. And they let him in.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Genius. That sounds like something you would do, Joe.
I tell you, I don't know the smell.
It's the Joe Padula Show. Bada bing. Clarksville's conversation.